Good morning and welcome back to Weird Stuff in a Can, because it is morning and it's breakfast time and I fancy toast and butter. And toast has to begin with bread. So that's right, we are now looking at bread in a can. And I should say that this is a loaf of ready-to-eat bread. This is not a can of dough that we bake into bread. This is actually supposedly a loaf of ready-to-eat bread in a can. I bought this can from conserva.de, the same website where I got the venison sausage with red cabbage, and it cost me this much money. So let's have a look at the can. It's interesting actually, a lot of the things on this site are targeted for their shelf life rather than their actual flavour or anything like that. And these are foods that you store in your bunker so that when the end of the world happens you can still have toast, or bread at least. Got to say, this feels rather heavy for a loaf of bread. It's a sunflower and multi-seed loaf, I think. Let's have a look at the ingredients. So the ingredients have got whole grain rye. Oh, it's a rye loaf. Okay, whole grain rye, sunflower seeds, water, natural sourdough, low-fat curd cheese, bread syrup, which is barley malt, and water, salt and yeast. So there we go, may contain traces of wheat, nuts and egg. What else can we say? So let's have a look and see. Yes, the end of life date is January 2024. That's 6 years in the future. So how can you make bread that's going to last 6 years? Well, I think the only thing to do now is open it up and have a look. I noticed there's a plastic lid on there, which presumably means that this is more than a single serving. Let's open up this can and see what this bread can possibly be like. Well, there are our sunflower seeds. I see it's lined with a paper sort of thing. Okay, well let's tip it out on a plate and see what we're actually dealing with here. Rather tricky to get out because of this rim that the easy open can has left on the side there. I may just go and get a can opener and see if I can slice off that rim. First, let's just have a little sniff. It smells sort of malty and yeah, I think it smells like malt loaf or something like that. Anyway, so people keep asking me why I keep saying that I don't like these pull tab cans, and this is one of the reasons. They leave this stupid rim on the inside of the can. Okay, that hasn't cut it off, but it's pushed it down. So hopefully we'll now get our lovely loaf of bread out of the can. Take off all of the paper, shall we? Okay. So there it is. That is a loaf of supposedly rye bread with sunflower seeds. Okay, well let's see if we can cut a slice of this bread, because bread must be sliced. What should we do? Circular slice, kind of slices like that, or no, I think we'll get a better idea of what it's like inside if we try to cut some. My gosh, that's a dense loaf. And sunflower seeds have gone everywhere. Right, sunflower seeds only appear to be on the outside. And the inner oh no, I tell a lie. No, there are sunflower seeds in the middle of the loaf there. The texture is remarkable, I've got to say. It's quite a dense one. It's a bit like pumpernickel or something like that, actually. This is not what I expected from a loaf of bread in a can. This is not, it's more like a dense, dense German rye than it is a actual loaf of bread that I'm familiar with. Anyway, so I guess we should just try a little piece of this now. So I'm just going to break off a little piece and see what that tastes like. So okay, so that's got a definite German sort of rye bread sourdough flavour to it. I've also got to say I probably don't find that very palatable. It's not very familiar to my tastes to eat this kind of bread, so I'm finding that a little bit difficult to eat. I don't think that's very suitable for toasting, but what it does need is a bit of butter. So we've got butter in a can from the same place, and I don't know if this is actually properly canned at high temperatures, in which case it's going to be weird, or if this is just a sealed can of pasteurised butter. It hasn't got such a long shelf life as the bread did. Shelf life on this is only about 9 months, so the end of this year. And this cost me this much money. Okay, so let's have a little bit of butter on our bread. Again, it's a pull tab can. Okay, oh, that's okay. It's a piece of paper. Okay, I think this butter has just been extruded into the can and then sealed, actually. I don't think this has been canned at high temperatures, or else we'd have been looking at clarified butter and weird things there, and I think that's the end of the extruder nozzle we're seeing there. So presumably this is fairly normal tasting butter. Let's just taste a little bit on its own. Yeah, it's just butter. So okay, a bit hard to spread, so let's see if we can just soften a bit up with by working it. Okay, let's try a little bit of this butter on our sunflower seed rye bread. Just taste that, shall we? See if that makes it a bit more palatable. Gosh, still very dry, and eating that is a chore. But I guess if you were sitting in your bunker, you know, fending off zombies or radioactive mutants or whatever it is you do after the end of the world, I guess that's probably quite a dense source of nutrition. So let's have a look and see. It's got, yeah, 1,000 calories per 100 grams, and there's 500 grams in this. There's 5,000 calories in that loaf. If you'd been out of the bunker in your survival suit for a hard day's surviving, then maybe you'd welcome having some calorie dense, shelf stable canned bread to come home to. I'm not going to eat any more of that actually, because it's just not really to my taste. It's not exactly unpleasant, it's just very dense, very sort of fibrous and dry, packed full of flavour. And I imagine if we had cheese in a can, which they do sell at the conserva.de website, they do have canned cheese as well. I imagine if we had cheese and bread and butter, it might actually be palatable. But I'm going to stop there. So there we go, that's weird stuff in a can, bread and butter. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.